Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, you ready to move on to the good?
Sure.
Okay, what was your good for week 13?
So my good, I have to give it to the Washington football team. They lost 3 straight games. They're all heartbreakers. All of them basically came down to the end. I mean, that Cowboys game was just gut-wrenching. And then they, started 7-2. They have this horrible history for 30 years of being horrible. And even if they play good in spurts, they always end up falling apart. So after they lost those 3 games, I mean, you're at 7-5. You're thinking, man, is this going to spiral? And I mean, they just absolutely took it to the Titans. I know the Titans aren't a good team, but they did. I mean, last year they beat the Texans in Texas. So I mean, anyone can beat anyone in the NFL. But I mean, they just totally boat raced them the first half. So good for them. I'm happy for them that they got back on track. I think that kind of helped their confidence a little bit. Hopefully, they'll kind of get them going and staying in the playoff picture.
Yeah, that's a good one. I thought, like you said, really good bounce back game for them. They needed that. So it was the Titans. That's why I didn't want to put them in my grade, even though they scored as much. It's like, well, it's the Titans.
Yeah.
The Titans have been playing teams kind of physical, but they're 3-9. So yeah, it doesn't matter too much. I'm going to give my good to the Steelers offense, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, because I think this is one of the big things that a lot of people we're talking about the last couple of weeks is like the defense has been really good, but where is the offense? They need that offense to show up. Well, it kind of just shows that they kind of have this type of game in them. Now, I do want to add just a little, and this is why they're in my good and not great. It was the Bengals defense. And the Bengals defense has been atrocious. So Russell Wilson, over 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Najee Harris had 75 yards rushing off of 16 carries. And Pickens had the most receiving yards with 64. So they just did a really good job. And by the way, Russell Wilson is really doing a really good job of sharing the ball, like a lot of people with multiple receptions. So he's getting the ball to a different and variety of weapons. So I just want to give it to the Steelers offense for scoring 44 points when their defense couldn't stop the Bengals in this game. So they get my good for the week.
Yeah, 100%. I feel kind of like you did with the Washington to the Titans, though, because like you said, the Bengals defense. I mean, I don't know if you heard some of these statistics that Burrow's only the second quarterback in history to lose 3 straight games in which all 3 games he threw over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then they're 1-2 in games that they score 38 or more points. The rest of the NFL is 21-0 in those games. And I like even the last play of the game where they could have gotten the ball back, if they stopped them on 3rd down and they brought Fields in. And why do you bring Fields in? It's because he might run the option, right? Obviously. And if you watched the Bengals corners when he did the fake handoff, they both crashed down and then Fields just like basically jogged over to the sidelines for the first down. It's like, guys, like there's a reason he's in the game. It's like at least your corners need to set the edge and stay on the outside so that you don't give them. I mean, you really have to wonder what coaching is anymore in the NFL. I mean, it's just very simple things like that they don't know how to execute. It just blows my mind how NFL players and teams can just, very, very simple, basic things like that they don't know how to do.
Yeah, and something else about that play too, like the corners kind of came crashing down towards the middle. Like they would not get there in time. Like so I didn't understand why they were
stop them in the middle.
Right. So why not watch the quarterback, which I think it was Newman or Newsome, that he was a rookie, I guess, a 4th round draft pick, I think, or something like that. But he was the one that was. It seemed like he was supposed to kind of keep an eye on Justin Fields, and he went in. And I'm just like, dude, you're not going to get there in time. If he gets past the line, you're doing nothing. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It was kind of a dumb decision on his part. You have another good?
Yeah, just a real quick one. Good for Bryce Young. Not that I love the guy or anything, but he's a typical rookie, came in, horrible team. I mean, worst team in the league. And then they bench him after a couple of games because, he's not a rookie, but his second year. But, you felt kind of bad for him because the team's just horrible. And now he came back. He's been actually playing a lot better. And the fact that he got the ball 3 minutes left, I think he had 1 or 2 timeouts and went right down this field, scored a touchdown to get his team the lead. I mean, he did what his job was to win the game at the end. And that's exactly what you need for a young quarterback. Just build his confidence. That was a really good experience for him in-game situation to do that. So I was happy for him. That was a good experience for him to finally have something good. I know they lost the game, but I mean, from what he could handle, he handled it well.
Yeah, no, I like, and some of his throws were really cool, like really good throws too. Like they weren't like easy throws. He was making some really difficult throws, so it's nice to see that. I also want to throw in a player too, Leonard Williams for the Seattle Seahawks. He had a 92-yard interception, defensive lineman. He also had a sack in the game. Sort of his revenge game against the New York Jets. I got to give him a good because that was fun to watch.
That was awesome to see a guy that size. I mean, you can see it. Sometimes they get 20, 30-yard returns, and then they get tracked down, but going the distance, that was awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Let's move on to the bad. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.